As it turns out, Luke has his own version of the Sermon on the Mount. When we read the Sermon on the Mount, we can read the whole thing in maybe 3 minutes, but it was actually a full-length talk that Jesus gave, and he probably gave it in multiple places, multiple times. This might have been his main message.
Yeah, similar themes, similar stuff. Chapter 6, verse 17, Jesus has just picked the disciples. He came down with them and stood on a level place with a great crowd of his disciples and a great multitude of people from all Judea and Jerusalem and the seacoast of Tyre and Sidon, who came to hear him be healed of their diseases. And then he comes down, it's like dun, 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 this huge crowd of his most closest associates, then disciples, followers, and then everybody else who, even the guy that just wanted to get rid of his demon or leprosy or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And people from Tyre and Sidon, which is where the widow is from. So Gentiles are there too, and they're getting healed once again, apparently.
And those who were troubled with unclean spirits were cured, and all the crowd sought to touch him, for power came out from him and healed them all. Which is, how long does that go on? Luke doesn't really say, but exhausting kind of time, I would guess. Verse 20, he lifted up his eyes on his disciples and said, "Blessed are you who are poor, for yours is the kingdom of God. Blessed are you who are hungry now, for you will be satisfied. Blessed are you who weep now, for you shall laugh. Blessed are you when people hate you and when they exclude you and revile you and spurn your name as evil on account of the Son of Man. Rejoice in that and leap for joy, for behold, your reward is great in heaven, for so their fathers did to the prophets." The deep value we have that if you try hard, you're going to get what you want to get. That makes us go, oh, blessed are the poor, for yours is the kingdom of God. Well, I got to be poor because being poor is blessed. These aren't instructions for life. They are descriptions of the kingdom of God. And they are amazing because it's the people who usually don't get the good stuff. Jesus says, you guys are going to get the good stuff. Jesus teaches contextually. So probably what's going on here is he looks at somebody in this group who is obviously poor. Maybe they just have rags. And he goes, blessed are the poor. And point, I can't really get, blessed are the poor, like this dude. And the dude's going, why? How am I blessed?
People tried to touch him. Power was coming out from him and healing them all. And so it seems like prior to this message, everyone's grabbing at him like the woman with the issue of blood. And if they could just grab him for a second, power pours into them. And maybe there people who are grabbing them are weeping because they've been sick for so long, and they grab them and they get power coming into them and they're not sick anymore. And suddenly they're laughing, like, because they feel so good. And it's just this crazy melee. And I picture that he's commenting on what has just happened. Like, you guys are poor, but you're look at you now, you're blessed because stuff's happening to you. It's not like this serene little milk toast with a British accent beatitude. It's just like, look what's happening. You guys are blessed,
Yeah, that's good. I like that. I think that one of the things that this pushes for me is that the kingdom of God, it's rolling out beyond boundaries, and it's going out to outsiders. It's the nature of it, and within it, there's ongoing nurture for people who are sold out to it. There's nobody there who's not at least somewhat familiar with feeling like they're on the outside, feeling like they're overlooked. It's part of our condition. And Jesus is saying to us, no, you're not. No, you are a part of this. Is for you. The people of the kingdom, we've got to be watching for, how does the kingdom grow out to include more and more and more. One of the things this reminds me of, Alex, is our early days together with the vineyard in Pueblo. Your passion for prisoners, doing Bible studies in the jail, trying to find ways to incorporate people in halfway houses into our fellowship. And, me having grown up in like a really nice, put together, okay church, and I'm just kind of troubled with it a little bit and going, well, there's no way that our church can be healthy with 60% of the people in the church on parole, with 10% of them any given week going to the state penitentiary because they screwed up their parole. But it was that passion on your part is reflecting this aspect of the kingdom of God, that the kingdom of God goes after those people. It's the nature of it. And man, it's so much easier to be comfortable and sit with people who are like you and think like you and enjoy them. And but that's not really the nature of the kingdom.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I remember we drive the church van to the halfway house and pick up people and take them to church. And there's always a tension because, like with you guys, you're a family with young kids, and are they safe in a church with a bunch of people from the halfway house? And can we be healthy if we're mixing the broken with the mended?
I was listening to a book by Townsend, maybe John Townsend, the psychologist guy. He was talking about a woman he was counseling, and he was talking to her because her adult daughter was screwing up majorly. He didn't go into details. And the mom was at her wit's end trying to figure out what she could do. Townsend said, so your tendency is to give her advice, right? And tell her what she can do. She goes, yeah, that's who I am. I do that. I help people figure out their problems. I give advice. And he said, but she's not open to that. She's listening to her dad, right? Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with that. And he said, it's like this. And the daughter's name was Katie. He said, right now, Katie is in a well. She's in a well. She's done this stuff to herself, but she's in a well, and you're looking out from the top of the well and going, hey, try this. This will work. And he said, in contrast, your husband, he got down in the well with her. He's down in the well with Katie and saying, I know this is hard and it's a mess, but I'm here with you. And I just love that. I love that idea that Jesus goes, don't be judging people. Don't be condemning people. Maybe get down in the well with them.